The person Luffy respects the most is Shanks. He's his role model. He's the man who inspired Luffy to embark on his own pirate journey. Shanks' crewmates, especially Lucky Roo and Yasopp, recounted incredible stories and adventures of pirates. In fact, Luffy learned to sing Being Sake from them. I don't know how he reacted when he learned Shanks came to Marineford to stop the war and gave Ace and Whitebeard a proper burial. A burial they deserved. Luffy might have had mixed feelings. On one hand, he's grateful to Shanks for not letting the Marines to disrespect Ace's body. On the other hand, he promised Shanks that his crew will surpass Shanks' crew. But in the end, Shanks and his crew bailed him out during his most vulnerable moment. Luffy cannot tolerate anyone disrespect Shanks, even if that person is his own grandfather. Whenever Shanks sees Luffy's achievement on news or bounty increase, he feels very happy. He's eagerly waiting for their meeting. But recently, the Gorosei are targeting Luffy. They want him dead. They didn't even hesitate to sacrifice one of their best agents in the process. They think it's worth it. They want to take such drastic action because they found out about Luffy's devil fruit. Now that Luffy is confirmed to be Joy Boy, they will take more drastic action against him. Luffy has been active as a pirate for more than 2 years. They know of Luffy ever since Luffy defeated Crocodile. Don't tell me they didn't know Luffy ate Gomu Gomu no Mi. Well, Hito no Mi, Model Nika. They knew it. They knew it for sure. So why didn't the Gorosei send Admiral after Luffy then? Why now? Just before the start of the Reverie, Shanks paid them a visit and warned them about a certain pirate. Shanks knew Luffy ate Hito no Mi, Model Nika. So did he betray Luffy? Or did he talk about his brother from a different mother? The legendary pirate whom we all know, Buggy Sama. Well, before I talk about it, I should talk about why the Gorosei didn't catch Luffy and why they're after him now. You know, Luffy has been active as a pirate for a very short period of time. He started his own pirate journey at 17. When he reached Marineford, he was still 17. So it took him only a few months to explore the first half of Grand Line and make a name for himself. The Gorosei took note of Luffy when he defeated Crocodile. Before they could take any action, he was already on Skypia, a land beyond the control of the world government. Just after Luffy challenged the world government and destroyed Enies' lobby, Luffy escaped second Buster Call because of former Admiral Aokiji. On one hand, Aokiji is grateful to Garp. On the other hand, he's following the wish of his late friend Jaguar de Sol. So because of his personal reason, he couldn't bring himself to do anything to Luffy, Nico Robin, or any of the Straw Hats. Now, before the world government could take any action, Blackbeard did an unthinkable job. He defeated Portuguese the Ace and handed him to the Marines. The government was preparing for Ace's execution and an impending fight against the Whitebeard pirates. So they didn't have any leeway to worry about Luffy. Luffy gave them an opportunity when he punched a celestial dragon. But Bartholomew Kuma spoiled their fort, and in Marineford War, Shanks and his crew and Trafalgar Law saved him. After that, Luffy had been absent from the pirate world for 2 years. Even after that, they had a chance on Dressrosa, but Luffy made an honorable man like Fujitora, so he got away with it. Furthermore, since Sengoku resigned from his post, he didn't want to interfere with pirates unless it's absolutely necessary. Moreover, Luffy is, after all, his friend, Garp's grandson, so he didn't want to dirty his hand even more. So he let Fujitora to decide. Furthermore, due to Don Quixote Rocinante's death, he had an old score to settle against Doflamingo, but he couldn't do it himself because of status. Luffy helped him to vent his anger, so it might have influenced him a bit. So the time the government got anywhere close to Luffy is on Onigashima. So they wanted to take a shot and eliminate the hidden threat once and for all. Now, let me ask you a question. Is Shanks the only person whose knowledge that Luffy's devil fruit is not Gomu Gomu no Mi, rather Hito no Mi, Model Nika? The answer is no. There are at least 6 people in the government know that Luffy's devil fruit is a Mythical Zoan devil fruit. You might be forgetting a character who hates Luffy more than any of the Gorosei. Yes, I'm talking about Imu-sama. The Gorosei wanted Imu-sama to order them who she didn't like and wanted to eliminate. She knows about Joy Boy more than anyone else. Well, Junesha could be an exception, but I'm not sure. Wouldn't it make more sense if Imu-sama is the one who ordered the Gorosei to eliminate Luffy at all cost? Since she took Luffy's bounty poster and wanted to compare it with Joy Boy's Straw Hat, doesn't that mean she also knows that Luffy ate Hito no Mi, Model Nika? Moreover, when Shanks talked to the Gorosei, his expression was not Shanks' usual expression. I mean, in the series, whenever we see Shanks talking about Luffy or reading something about Luffy, Luffy, he always smiles, no exception. But when you talk about Blackbeard or challenges someone, he always looks serious. When Ace came to Shanks, he looked serious and immediately reached for his sword. When Mihawk paid him a visit after he met Zoro and Luffy on Baratie restaurant, Shanks looked serious. We even saw a similar expression when he challenged Blackbeard and the Marines on Marineford. So it would be more wise to say that the pirate Shanks was warning the Gorosei off wasn't Luffy. But due to certain situation, we can't help thinking he was actually talking about Captain Buggy. Maybe he was trolling the Gorosei about Buggy and he duped them. However, that doesn't mean he'll not show any hostility towards Luffy in the future. I think it will be a fake hostility, not the real one. Shanks might do it to check Luffy's growth. After he confirms if Luffy is able to bear the burden of the D clan, he'll tell him about why he went to East Blue 12 years ago and what's the story behind his devil fruit. He'll tell him the burden of the user of Hito Hitonomi, Model Nika, or Joy Boy carries. He'll also tell Luffy that he'll learn the rest on the final island, Laftel. I think it'll be hilarious to look at Luffy's reaction then. I mean, once he knows that he's been wrong about his devil fruit for more than 12 years. And Luffy would want to destroy the world government, not because the injustice they committed for more than 800 years. Rather, they made a fool of him. They made a fool of him for 12 years and let him believe he ate a Paramecia devil fruit. It's an unforgivable sin. And because of them, he has to rename all of his moves or attacks. It's a real pain in the. We know how much Shanks respects Goldie Roger. And the Straw Hat is Roger's keepsake. He adores Luffy so much that he not only sacrificed his left hand, he also gave him his most precious treasure, the Straw Hat. At first, Luffy just wanted to become an ordinary pirate, but because of Shanks' sacrifice, he changed his goal. This selfless act motivated Luffy to create his own crew and surpass all of the pirate crew, present and past. He wants to become the king of the pirates, but from the looks of it, he'll eventually become the ultimate king of the sea. To Luffy, Shanks is the epitome of pirate. Even though Luffy resembles Goldie Roger to a great extent, he wants to emulate Shanks the most. And we saw it in Mock Town. Young Luffy was very dissatisfied with Shanks when the latter didn't put up a fight, even though he was being wronged and humiliated. He didn't even protest Mountain Bandit Higuma for unjustly attacking him physically and verbally. Later, Makina taught Luffy a very important lesson. It's very easy to start a fight, but it's equally tough not to start one when you have every reason to start one. Shanks gave Luffy his most important treasure, the Straw Hat. This is not just a Straw Hat, it's a commitment, it's a promise. It's a promise between these two. Luffy has two promises to fulfill. He needs to find Shanks and return him his Straw Hat. He cannot meet him casually. There's a condition to fulfill. Luffy must become a renowned pirate, and his crew must surpass Shanks' crew. Luffy has already become a Yonko, so he's fulfilled one of the conditions. But his crew is still inferior to Shanks' crew. Zoro isn't Ben Beckman's level, and Usopp isn't Yasop's level. So I guess after the Elbaf arc, the Straw Hats will become strong enough to contend against Shanks' crew, and Luffy will become Shanks' level. I mean in terms of haki and overall power skill. So someone who sacrifices his dominant hand for someone else and parts with his most important treasure and gives it to the other person, how can such a person betray the other person? It's impossible. So Shanks will never ever betray Luffy. Anyways, did Shanks betray Luffy? Comment down below.